Oh my god. It's back.
Hello.
Oh my
Are you
god.
ready for the doctor?
We survived!
Hey everybody. How y'all doing? We had no difficulty starting today. Thank you for asking.
No.
So,
No.
Dragoni joins the party.
Thank you, Dragoni.
Hello. I better not see anyone found guilty today, okay? Well, what if the bad guy is found guilty? Is that fine?
No.
Oh, well, fuck.
Did
I
you
guess...
just hear what he
Nobody's
asked?
guilty.
And this will be a very short trial.
Oh dear. But, can't promise that. But, yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Grace Attorney. I love calling it that. I can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we met that man in the painting back there. His name is Mr. Garadeb, as Shomes is very helpful. Thank you very much. Garadeb.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yes.
Go to bed.
Mr. Go to bed. And we are defending a real person from Japanese history named Sosuke Natsume, I believe was his name.
Look at that, Game Loud.
And
I
he
think it's
is
happening.
Game loud.
Game loud.
Game loud.
Game turned down.
Maybe Jay was right. We were just talking about how we got everything perfect, and now suddenly the game's loud.
In
There's
fact,
something about it.
So
turn
scary.
it down just once. Okay, that's
Well, no, just do it on the bar over there on the
yeah,
screen.
I know, I did both.
Oh, okay.
All right,
See,
chat.
my problem with the names in this game is that I'm never sure if it's a pun name like Ace Attorney usually does, or if it's just a Sir Arthur Conan Doyle character name.
Yeah,
It's hard to
so-
tell sometimes.
It's hard.
I think Garadeb is that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the pun in Garadeb is, and then I realize, oh wait, it's probably just a character from the Holmes stories.
He is. All right, Shomes, you're up.
Okay.
You weren't ready for this.
Okay, so somehow staring at the man, I was like, oh yeah, I'm that guy. I was like,
me.
oh, that's me.
That's me.
Okay, all right, now.
It
Just
you.
come up, please. Just come up, please. Just come up, please. Okay. Mr.
Not
Guy,
everything is this company.
it's gonna be. Though it would seem you are a military man of considerable distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first rate. I am afraid, sir, that it's all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements.
I beg your pardon?
The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
What?
And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. It's gonna be a poodle. It's gonna be a poodle.
I do say.
Mr. Naruhodo, look.
The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably. It seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
Huh.
How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. And I know only too well that the wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Let's go. I've been looking forward to
Ready
this.
to breathe?
I just got a call. If they call back, I will need to take it.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, doke.
It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take?
I'm going to very conspicuously look at the mantle.
Ah, for a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Gadib, leads us to believe to the answer.
He even practiced as we were starting.
No, it's in character.
Oh.
The true nature of the beast is that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue.
Where's that? Where Holmes is?
Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, king of the beasts.
Is this piffle, I ask you?
In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house.
What? Lions aren't even from India.
Yet,
True.
living with such a wild beast provided more difficult than you had imagined. I heard it over there. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well,
Though
no,
that
there's a
might
lion
actually
trying to
be a
break through
graphical
my
glitch
door.
which they tried to keep from the remake to the original one. They could possibly be. I mean, there was something else that could happen. Except in the Pokemon game.
What are you talking about?
Mrs.
I don't
Sholmes,
know, yes.
Mrs. Sholmes, come back to us.
Oh, yes. As we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam?
You ate it.
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me that with one glance in your direction,
it is.
yeah, your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Oh shit, your dress has pockets?
Nice.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
nice.
For protruding from this handbill, it's a handbill advertising a circus show.
Ah!
Yes, you thought you'd dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Gadeb, at
Deborah.
Betty's Circus.
A little bit closer.
Is that still not right?
Garrett.
Garrett.
Gary
no.
Deb.
Oh.
Garib?
Garrett.
Gary
Deb.
Deb.
Garrett
Okay,
Deb.
Gary,
Gary.
like,
Spell it.
Like Gary Oak.
Gary Oak or Gary Oldman.
And then
And
Deb as in
Deb.
dabbing, but it was spelled
It's like,
wrong.
like Debbie Reynolds. Gary Deb.
All right.
Gary Deb.
All right. Ready. A traveling show currently sauntering in a nearby park. I have observed the tents.
Oh, no.
You sold the savage lion to the circus troupe.
God, we're not gonna have to go to the circus, are we?
Oh,
Circus, circus, circus.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion.
You're...
And this simple visit now to the circus will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through the ring of fire.
Wow. He's so good at this. Wow.
She had a lion.
God deserves to meet most ancestors.
He's still going!
Now, Mr. Gato, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible.
And in your pocket, an invoice from a fan artist. My feelings.
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man. I simply...
But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer.
He looks towards his lap where there's like burn marks from all the teeth.
Yes, it is this pile of bills that has driven the rise of the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment.
Ah.
4 cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea.
Not for the number.
Yes, indeed. Feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, well,
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Also from India.
Oh, dearie me. Bless you.
Thank you.
What could have caused a destructive outburst?
Ah.
This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes.
Sholmes, you're an idiot.
There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an insatiable appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noble woman, if... I have a antivirus popping up in front of my words. If they have no bread, let them eat cake.
It was not.
Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact.
Whatever you do, you mean?
Well, now Blade keeps a dodger while you throw it at him, and he's really upset about it. Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Where is the second maid? Walked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks on the carpet are a perfect match for those of a lion I once saw in India.
Wow. He's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect logic.
I don't believe that man's ever been to India.
Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the beastly puzzle.
He's been to Japan. Came back.
Yes.
with us.
This is true.
Oh, wow. Why? Don't do it to him.
What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrideb. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions can be startlingly.
Darling.
Yes. It's getting him to say it. That's the hard part. It stands to reason that your cup will runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make some people spill tears at times, too.
Oh.
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Miss Naruhodo. What is it again?
Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed. It is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies behind the realm of common sense.
Be back very soon.
Wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garrideb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse.
Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large can.
I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
It's a fancy lion.
Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that
Irrespective, sir.
That irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Oh, what a glorious notion.
Write it down.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
What do you want me to do? He figured it all out. It's all set. I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it.
Excellent. I have been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward. Mr. Naruhodo.
That's sweet of you.
Slight massage.
We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe.
Let us start again. From the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular.
Let's go. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, let's skip up until they start asking questions. What did cause the problem here?
Poodle.
Huh.
A poodle. You know what? It's either a cat or a dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Well, the cat was
It's a
already.
snake.
It's a cat again, a second time.
I was thinking it was
Only
the
gonna be cats.
cannon.
Okay, here we go. I really didn't see the lion thing coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garrideb's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok in here in this room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature, but it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
That's me.
Oh, sorry.
But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
So what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garadeb's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer.
Okay. Well, I'd like to look at his gaze.
We
then.
can't follow his gaze.
I'd like to look at.
What is
But
right
this.
behind it though.
That over there.
Huh? What's this photograph?
Someone's been shot.
It appears to be from Mr. Garadeb's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he?
It's the maid. They are married. I was right. Yes.
Then
It's a ruse. They're making something up for some
Yes.
reason. I don't know.
I thought he was looking at one of the shells, like the cannon went off and knocked stuff over.
He does, but you can't make out his bride.
no, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. No, but no. What are you talking about? The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that.
What is
You
the
can present
woman's
anything,
form?
remember?
I can read this.
This must have been when Mr. Garadeb was still in the army.
He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly and beaming a smile at the same time.
I suppose he was very strong in his younger years.
Hard to imagine now. He's as thin as a rake. Okay. I feel like this is what I'm on about, but is it just this?
Let's try it.
Okay. Take that! The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride.
Precisely, Miss Naruto. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garadeb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured,
We can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they might contain.
That's a sentence.
indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast.
Honored might be stretching a point.
I'll show you she was.
Woo!
What a woman.
Well,
The fact remains that the beast, which is so clearly savage in this room, was your wife, Mr. Garadeb.
Oh.
The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well,
Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam?
me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is?
It is. Your dress pockets gives us a handsome clue to the beast's current whereabouts. He sold his wife to the circus.
oh my god.
Oh no!
Is that
Poor,
where we're going?
fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh,
Oh dear.
rude.
Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garadeb anywhere.
But it seems there may be a clue here as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garadeb's wife could be. It's her, you fool. It's her. Well, let's talk about her. Two tightly shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips to prevent any secrets from slipping out. Rounded cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way.
Oh no.
This is rude.
So rude.
Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Miss Susanna.
It's your turn of phrase that's unnerving, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah, you're right. D.
God.
What a charming little teapot. And it's in pristine condition. Joan has been pouring some deliciously fragrant tea for Mr. Garrideb, hasn't she?
Well, not so much for Mr. Garrideb as on Mr. Garrideb, wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it.
Okay. Well, bonnet. No, you want to look at her pocket again?
I mean, you can just present her.
Pocket. Here we go. Hello.
Whoa.
That certainly does appear to be a circus handbill poking out of her pocket.
Imagine the two of them just sort of like crouching down there. Like,
Let me have a closer look at this.
Bart's circus. Currently performing shows in a park and not far from here.
You don't think? Surely Mr. Garrideb didn't sell his wife to the circus?
Not a Hodo! How could you even think such a thing?
I was only joking.
Besides, I would have gone with, do you think he fed her to a pet lion?
That is somehow worse. They're both terrible. They're both bad. Oh, ring.
Oh. Uh-huh.
She's wearing a very large ring. Look.
Oh, the sun
Oh,
and the
yes.
moon. Okay.
A sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger on her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring.
Looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that. That's very rude.
Rude. That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garrideb's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one?
Really hammering it in here. Okay.
right.
I wonder where Mrs. Garrideb could be.
Yup.
It was a rather large sunflower design as well.
Really? You have a great memory for these things. I mean, admittedly, I didn't notice that in the picture. A
Me
large
neither.
sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna...
It is also
coincidence.
just over there.
That's true. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Ah!
Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. You're the lion. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garrideb's bride in this photographic print.
In other words, you are no ordinary household maid.
No. You are Mr. Garrideb's lucky bride. You are Miss Garrideb herself.
Oh my word!
Gotcha.
We did get you.
You haven't gotten.
Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes. My Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she... Ouch! Oh,
Alright, you deserve that one.
Yep.
It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
Not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yes, here in London one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly.
You mean Mr. Garrideb has his wife work as his maid? Ooh.
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrideb?
Only in company, obviously. But listen here, this must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please.
Oh no.
Oh wait, there's more.
There's more.
Now, Mr. Garadeb,
You can look at her biting the carpets.
it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable boy.
Can we stop calling her that?
Yes.
Please.
Only I can call her that.
Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible.
But what's the loss? There's no loss.
We'll just continue from where we left off. We'll get there.
Alright.
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel has been revealed by that supporting arm.
Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garadeb's wife a beast.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garadeb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garadeb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? Oh.
Oh.
If you actually notice, you could actually see the palm print when he turned around
Yeah.
slightly.
Really? Okay. Oh my, look at that bright red mark.
I thought it was like a hot tea splash on his face
Burn?
or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, she like Spock spread her fingers in the middle of that one too.
With her left hand.
Amazing.
Gosh, that's quite something. And clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Garadeb has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. Uh-huh. I just want to read this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very large pipe, isn't it?
Yes, anyone who has something that size hanging out of his or her mouth on a regular basis is sure to have a serious chin like Mr. Garadeb's. What? But what's that white binding around it all about? Is it broken? Is that the point?
Maybe.
Too poor to buy a new one.
Maybe.
Mr. Garadeb certainly looks glum.
According to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, that's because he's having to endure the acute pain of losing something dear to him. But we know that he hasn't lost his wife.
So that means there must be another cause for the pain he's suffering.
Yep. Let me look at his hair. Look at my hair. Oh, another ring. No. Okay. Alright, we'll just go with that. Slap. Take that! Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek.
And of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek, or that refused to fade, was you, Madame Joan Garadeb.
Well, yes.
Jones?
Oh, the bond on her head is like the sun. I get it now.
It could be.
Alright, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
She has a sun on her ring.
Yeah. You got like the moon head, she's got the sun head.
Oh, you know what? That's
in there.
probably intentional.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
That's
You
cute.
have been desperate to hide that slap mark on your cheeks, sir.
Oh. Oh, in the blazes, did you work it out, man?
Nothing escapes notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow.
That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. And here I was, thinking it was just character design.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garadeb to fly into such a rage.
Did you comment on her weight? That'd do it.
And we only need to follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that's given rise to the pain you suffer.
Did you spend money you don't have? That would also do it.
Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garib's. Bah!
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
Yes, and I'm being very rude. She's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
I don't know, in this situation, it seems like she has a lot of reasons. I'd love to know the answer to that question. Jesus. Okay, so the book. Huh?
Someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here. Look! Mr. Garadeb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
And look next to the signature here.
Lip marks made with lipstick.
Oh, that would also do it.
Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susanna. What does that mean?
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then.
Garadeb's first name James?
I don't think he
Do we
ever
know?
said, but it's gotta
Do
be
we know?
like that. Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer.
Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps this... Perhaps the sender of this note is a certain Miss Mary? Is the fly in the ointment here?
Ah!
Oh! My name's not even James. I don't even know the ballet woman.
You don't know her.
That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. I've never seen this before in my life, officer.
It was just in there, you say?
I'm holding it for a friend. That's right, Miss Robinson. Oh.
A likely story.
Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at the second-hand place. That note must have already have been there.
So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean?
That's right, I put... Oh.
A likely story.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James.
Just a second, gotta see how deep that teapot is, okay? Alright? It's very deep, it's very deep.
My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. Oh.
A likely story.
Are you questioning my name now?
Oh.
And there we have it! Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash a beast, of which with a ferocious bite.
Oh.
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out unimaginable bad things.
Unimaginable?
Oh yes,
That was close enough.
she ate the carpet. The aftermath of which... The aftermath can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What would have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the Tower of Cakes.
But surely Mrs. Scaradeb didn't eat the carpet.
The game keeps making the same jokes we've already made. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So, this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix.
And it's fixing to be the easiest part of it.
We only need to follow Miss Scaradeb's gaze, and that will let her tell us the real answer.
Alright, let's see what we can see.
Yes.
Alright, before we get to the answer, just want to read everything.
Ah, so many cakes.
Is that all you can think about?
Look at them, Mr. Naruhodo. There is a mountain of them, and they all look so delicious.
It's more of a tower than a mountain, I'd say.
It's a mountain, and it's my hope that one day, in our very homeland, I will be able to perform the tea ceremony at the foot of such a mountain.
It's definitely a tower. The circus thing again? Okay.
This is an advertising handbill for the circus. Batty's Circus. It's in a nearby park.
Isn't this the same as the one we saw earlier? The one that was folded up in Miss Garradeb's pocket?
Perhaps the very great circus lovers?
It couldn't be that the Hungry Lion is somehow involved again here, could it?
Oh dear, I do hope not.
Probably not. Okay, we'll read about the candlestick.
This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't notice that before. Somehow.
Why is that,
You
I wonder?
didn't?
Why is one candle of the three missing from its holder?
Take that!
Take that.
Where could that third one be?
I figured this out last week. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick.
Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth.
Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible.
Indeed they are! The scorch marks are at the edge are clearly giving the truth away.
What marks?
It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation.
Mrs. Garradeb's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face,
but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder.
and then in seconds the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames.
Yes. Yes.
The most ferocious beast in the world is never a violent lion nor a venture woman, but fire.
And then in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok.
Eloquently put, my dear fellow. And so you see, there is but one conclusion here.
After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire.
What he said.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh.
Oh, he's getting up.
You can stand.
Tall. Mr. Sholmes, I salute you!
Oh no. Oh.
Oh
that's-
dear, another
that's
body
nice
to
of you.
bury.
That was a pretty good freak out.
Yeah. And now it's the opposite of the wedding photo.
Oh yeah.
Role reversal.
Oh yeah.
This right here is Ryu and Sholmes' wedding cake topper. That pose. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there.
And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material?
Oh, yes.
James, boy?
God.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
No, but admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly
You're terrible. Here we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell to the floor?
You know, when you do that, Joan, you're really hurting yourself. Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. Her place filled with smoke, couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old Styx rage and the raging flames.
You painted a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining.
That's sympathy for you.
It didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. You'll have to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Over here, Mr. Garadeb.
Jones?
Oh, well, you have nothing more to hide now. If you'll allow me. Beeline, 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 beeline. Damn it!
Oh my. I had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got put of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke.
Gosh.
And the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, backed up against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary bookskin coming 10 to the dozen. The worst of it is I lost my favorite, book called The Lion's Pride.
So you weren't shot in the war or anything. This is what happened to you.
The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again.
I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. Oh.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast rampage.
Like nya.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder.
I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle.
Out of interest, what time of day was that?
Well, not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
That's the murder time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, at exactly the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window in the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you.
Somebody was stabbed.
The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Mr. Sholmes?
Sorry, I was dusting the carpet. Yes, Mr. Naruto. What can I do for you?
Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garadeb's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
Hey,
My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the onset.
that was an hour.
I warned you that although it knew the retired army would be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be any relevant or not.
I just knew you were going to say that.
Now, Miss Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of two categories: those relevant to the case and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry?
Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over.
And whose fault is that? Oh no, is it that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it. No more time to think.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garadeb.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Soseki-san will be waiting for us. And I'm going to have to give him an answer. Well, okay then. Bye, everybody. Let's go talk to him.
If I said it would be relevant, I'd be lying.
That's good. This is where I told you to go. 19th of February.
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's hail a cat. Oh.
What's the matter?
It looks like something's going on over there in front of Mr. Garadeb's house. Huh? Oh, whoa.
I wonder.
No. What? No. What?
No, what? Why does Saps not get to talk this chapter?
Oh God, it
Sorry,
is. Why?
this person's appearance just took me so off guard of how out of
What?
place he looks compared to everybody
What?
else.
Vibe. What?
Oh boy.
What and or who are you?
Oh.
It's you, apparently.
It's
You're
you.
You're quoting Henry the Fourth?
Is he Henry the
Oh,
Fourth?
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
Who the fuck?
Welcome, old man. You rum-looking nimmy-penny.
Okay, he does get the talk. That's good.
Of all things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Immediately, I get old man from, oh god, the fake Phoenix trial. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same vibe.
With the nose.
Same vibe.
Oh, yeah.
And the big chin.
The bird. We're feeding the birds.
Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What you on about?
Udo.
Excuse me.
Hey, what the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be a problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
See, most people would move past this.
But look at them.
Eh.
Hey, a lawyer? What?
If I could be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law.
Fine. I'll be on my way for it today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet.
Excuse me? Get thee to a nunnery!
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
So I understand that you gave me this character because he speaks exclusively in Shakespeare quotes.
That'd do it.
I do hope you're not injured.
We care?
The last two were from Hamlet. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you.
You're gonna be the bad guy, aren't you? What was that all
Yeah,
about?
probably. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here? In the Garadeb residence?
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
Mr. Garadeb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? Okay, yeah, so he lives between the two. Okay.
Hmm.
This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist of my belly words now could there ever be.
Sorry, battle, did you say?
Who was the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
Macbeth would definitely win in a fight. So, fair maiden, so, good gentlemen. I can tarry here no longer. Farewell.
Okay.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Gyaradob house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting a return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. So that bicycle right there, I did a little bit of research on this guy off camera, just the real person. Apparently, his stay in England turned him into kind of a paranoid and jittery person, as he's showing here. And so his friends were like, hey, maybe you should get into bicycling. I feel like it would be good for you. So I think that's probably what it's leading into with that.
Oh, it's you! You're here! You came! Locked up student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I cannot believe you came back! I'm so touched!
Wow.
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, no, I think nothing of it. Relax! If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots as you. Noble, nurturing, never failing Nipponese.
You know, like Nya.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, now let's not get carried away. Oh no, who?
Oh, I quite agree. I don't know if it's him or not. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand...
Nope.
Oh no!
Oh no, Jay, this is what you were dreading. These two characters in the same scene.
Happened faster than I thought. It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least.
Also, doesn't he hate you? I think he hates you.
Yes, it's you! The miserable, rotten spy, Herlock Sholmes!
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodations here offer a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option, which I shall not explain. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste of books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah! Oh, how dare you look! I've had it. I'm through. I am at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by the spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck would be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life has been damned!
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean.
And there is much truth to Mr. Mustache's words.
What?
Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For that man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean? Hey, buddy, let's talk. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean when by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed?
Oh, no! Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting, carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him.
You don't mean the trial is cursed somehow?
Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey?
The Reaper? Oh no! What do you mean?
We should have told him.
Please, tell me, summarize in 16 salient words.
No defendant has ever survived a trial in which this Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16! Hey!
Oh my goodness! That didn't be true! Was that 16 words exactly?
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. Then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded.
Wait, what? Ah, yes, and I am impressed, Mr. Susato. You have an eye for detail.
However, that was 22 words.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes? Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself?
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
You have some wonderful notions.
Sorry?
The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prospector, my dear fellow.
Prospector! Nice!
Prospector.
Yay!
Nice prospector!
One of those would never. One of those would never commit murder inside of a courthouse.
Inside of a court. Oh yeah! Yeah, that did yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Why, of course he is.
I remember it like it was yesterday. The dear.
Mark, of course he is. Now why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis.
What on earth do you mean by that? The Reaper.
Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception.
Hey, Gomez, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gomez.
That's good.
So Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy.
I am. I'm actually practicing a British accent. I hope I'm doing better than before. How you doing? As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. And is utter bullshit. However, in public opinion, in particular, is somewhat easily manipulated.
Right.
Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling the imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in light of the irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly, it is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's all right.
However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Though the education may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. They disappear? But how? But by all manners of misfortune, sir. Let me just spell it out for you. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by a highwayman.
We're gonna... illness? We're gonna blame illness on this?
Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Miss Naruto. All examples, actually. All examples.
May I, if permission, give you all a hint? We'd appreciate it if you didn't. Thank you very much.
Please do not.
Until we get stuck and ask for it. I knew it. I'm dead. Dodo, done for do.
Well, that did wonders for him, I think. When you
I
said...
want to die.
No, you don't. When you said...
I want to die.
When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to the room at Mr. Garadev's house, I assume. Do you mean to say that you believe the place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long, then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on the Briar Road, a week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed! Oops!" He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him. If you have something to say, then say it! But if not, do not mention it in the last place!
Yes, well said.
But it was true! It was all...
You mean, the room really is cursed, though?
Are you having fun, Jay?
Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I had been choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stand in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. No one wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary sinister spirits.
He has a point.
If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all.
To believe. Yes, to believe. To believe.
To believe.
You
just
gotta believe.
Just gotta believe, not to me. Mr. Jones.
Me, Miss Naruto. Pray, what can I do for you?
It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall.
The barrier. That case. The one with the snake?
Well, yes. At the time, I was the suspect. But you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did I? Interesting.
What I want to know is why. Why did you believe me?
I see. Yes, you mean... Because you are a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found in the victim of a locked room.
Well, if you like, yes, sure.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
Why'd you laugh at that,
That was
Jay?
obvious from the start.
What's up? Why are you laughing, Jay?
I have no idea. It's just tickled my fancy, you know?
What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, Mrs. Lion, I make up my own mind about what it is to be believed and what is not.
It's not my name.
It's gonna be. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned.
Shome's laying down some Kaido Momoda-esque line. But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right! He's right! Look, them students of Naruto Esquire!
Mitch, are you making sense right now?
Whether or not I can believe myself. Oh.
Stop that, I don't like it. A defense lawyer is only good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You were so right, Cosmo.
Dude, you were so right.
You were so right, dude.
So right.
Well, my dear fellows, it is time you were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guards will be here soon, shortly, to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
That sounds nice.
I come.
Oh dear. There is never enough time, is there?
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
I looked them student, Mr. Naruto Esquire.
As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial?
What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, and to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Locked up student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow.
As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who'd listen to me in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Miss Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the onset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end.
Yeah.
Miss Suzada,
Yes?
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Cosma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time that I learn to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight in his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom. With all the strength I can muster. To be
continued!
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 Yeah.
Right now.
Right now. Yeah, I love to see my growth progress. Thank you for asking.
Of course.
When was the last time you saved?
Who's right now?
How you doing, Jay?
So good.
So what?
So good.
So good?
So good.
What is it?
You're probably done talking for a while if that's what you're worried about.
So good.
Okay. It's February. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon?
We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to return the latest court procedures here, or research the latest court, we need as much court experience as possible. We got that line down perfect.
It's really
Don't
good.
even worry.
You
Well,
did it. I believe in you.
yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may as well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Soseki?
Probably Jay again.
Sorry.
Good morning.
It's him.
Yep.
Are you? Oh god, his eyes. Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
The bird catches the worm, as they say here in Great Britain. Yes.
Yes, I've heard that expression.
But I really do not want to catch a one. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I could not catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result.
Do all literary people take things so literally?
Yes.
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
I wish I had 9 lives! My whole future hangs in the balance! I am too terrified to tremble.
Really? Because I can feel tremors on the floor.
I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, looked-up student of Mr. Naruhodo Esquire,
Yes?
I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London.
Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Susato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea.
So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence, then, is it?
Do not hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it?
Probably. Lord Van Zeeks. Is that right, Miss Susato?
And zoinks.
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could this morning, or as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one.
I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now. In fact, until the day of the
Sorry.
trial yesterday.
Until the day before.
Until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus.
Oh, you thought I was gonna have a line?
A little. The trial of Magnus McGilded. What a harrowing experience that was.
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon? For what appears to be mundane murder?
Is it because of me?
Probably.
That's the question the papers are asking. And they're all speculating very senseless.
Actually, wait. Wasn't he already confirmed to be the prosecutor before I took this on?
Well, the suspect is Japanese, and we're Japanese, so it's probably meant to lure us out.
Oh, you think he's racist? He's just racist. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Mundane! Mundane! It is the most significant saga of this century offers to some of us!
Oh, dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume. But that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget the fact that it would also spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's also another blatant similarity to the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree.
Locked-up student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, it is you!
Me? Well, I
You!
suppose that's true, but again, I thought... Well, okay.
Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you are friends with the Reaper!
Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers.
I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that.
Oh, it's just my luck! Why must I be represented by a man with such a frame of fortune?
Hey.
By the least lucky lawyer alive!
Hey. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end. And I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, benevolent locked student of Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
You're not alone with us, or you're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-lotus assistant Miss Mikotoba, Esquiress. I am in your debt forever! I shall never forget whatever the hell!
You went without me. You know what? You know what? Saps. It's Saps this time.
It's an awesome cause of war defense.
Pass him.
The court session is about to begin. Time to take you away to your courtroom at once.
I have ruined all bailiffs. Yes.
That was not your intention?
It doesn't matter.
No,
It's
it wasn't.
fine. All right then, Mr. Natsume. It's time. Let's go.
Yes!
This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Cosma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believe in me. I believe I could do this now. I'm ready for this fight. That's good.
Good.
Good man.
Still February. Oh, the maid is here.
Oh.
Oh no.
Who's judge?
Oh yeah, who today?
I think it's one.
This is case 3, right?
No, this is 4.
Yes.
This is 4.
No,
Oh.
this is. Yeah, this is 4. Never mind. It's Jay.
It's Jay.
Oh. I guess there wouldn't be Holmes or the defendant talking that much.
How you doing,
Good
Jay?
to go, Jay?
You want to go get a water or something, Jay?
I have been. I think I mentioned at one point last week that I mistakenly bought tiny bottles of water, like those little ones that you got like little kids soccer games.
Mhm.
I've gone through 4 of them this stream so far.
That's pretty good.
Oh my god.
Staying moisturized though. The hell voice do I give Historian Judge?
Come on.
Me and Jay.
Wouldn't this guy be like easy for you, in particular?
Well, try to differentiate from the last voice I was just doing. Yes.
I mean, I can be
You
judge.
could just go for an
me.
old judge.
That's basically what I was just doing.
Santa
Oh,
Oh,
Santa
oh.
Claus. You mean Satan?
Yeah, Saint
Hey,
Claus.
Seth.
Doesn't need to be perfect at first.
You can just adapt it as you go.
In the name of Her Majesty and the Queen, I hereby declare this courtroom to be in session. It will evolve as we go.
Oh.
I now call
May-
upon the council.
May want to speak a little louder.
Okay, here I come. I now call upon the counsel of the prosecution and defense to declare their witnesses to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord.
The defense is ready, my lord.
The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed.
Sorry, what?
Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. You are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur.
Do you have a point?
Being compatriots, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance.
That's rude.
What?
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Susanoo-san.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Starting early, huh?
What's inside the cup?
Wine.
Oh no, it was this sword behind it. Never mind.
Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. I did never notice the Reaper on the wine bottle.
I can't see it at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
the parasites.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent end.
We know you did it.
Hey, that guy on the far left, he was a witness last time, I think.
Oh?
Yeah. Look at him.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in the fine fiddle.
Why is he so...
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public?
He sounds like a real ass intimidating judge at this point. You! I remember you.
You?
Yeah.
You thought they would only show up once?
Kinda.
You'll never know, and you might have been down on your luck, but I do believe in fair play for everyone.
I have fair play.
Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
Who?
Me. Oh, well, not me. Well, you see what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow.
Oh, who's that?
I'm afraid to say it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed.
Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
Mr. Magoo?
Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Sykes.
Very recently, the Great Britain signed an alliance with the rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of the most sinister acts.
Has he taken one sip from this
Objection.
wine? Has he drank any of it?
I have thrown it sometimes.
Yes. Sorry, I wonder what was that?
Objection, making an argument in an opening statement.
Oh, well.
While plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the streets.
Knife time? I can tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst, bloody oath they are. Bloody
Just
hell.
look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
Oh dear.
Oh no!
Come on,
Awful.
let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
What?
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber.
It's like the 4th time you've done it.
Never in an opening statement, though. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Very well. Baffa-Leaf, lead the inspector, or let the lead the inspector in, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Fish.
Your name and occupation, please.
It's you. Yes, sir? Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard.
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector?
Wow.
Alright. The victim was thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green.
I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be?
Green. Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. It was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since.
What?
Quite all right,
So they don't
Yeah,
even know
but-
who she is for sure? I mean,
Eva.
how do you find out how the victim is when they're dead? You wait for them to wake up?
Yes.
Comatose, I see. But her life was not in danger.
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago. but about 5 in the afternoon. It happened on a pavement running alongside Briar Road, well-known thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not been long since it had not been long since it stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street.
Huh?
Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she is currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far.
Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
Got it.
What of the weapon that was used?
That's a good question. Let me have a look at this stuff. Secondhand book receipt. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Pavement of Briar Road, East Side. Reporting officer, Rolly Beat. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. What about this? Has got anything? Customer Minister Natsume. The sum of 2 shillings tendered in receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq. A meal.
Lecoq.
A meal for Gabbaro. Canterbury Yearnings. Nailed every single one of those. This is okay. That's the same. Great. Okay.
Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Ouch! That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
The heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Anyone could have stabbed the old.
Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose.
A rather... a common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence.
Got that.
Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
Pause. I want to look at this.
No.
Look at the thing.
Look at the thing. Look at all the things. Open it.
Open.
There's no blood
It's
on
chipped.
The tip.
Yeah.
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip.
I'm reminded of the final case of the first game.
A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
You're right. Well spotted, Mrs. Otto.
I wonder what could have happened to it.
Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Yeah. Okay.
Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful.
They cleaned the blade, though?
That's a good question. Is there another thing that I can look at? Usually there's 2. Just the blade itself? Like that? Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I just flipped back.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll take that.
What we can tell by looking at the young woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. I do imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord.
I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim?
I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes! If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Wow. What? That's new.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery.
What are you doing?
Yeah, why did you do
The
that?
gallery loves this guy.
But your words have soured the hallowed bouquet.
Oh God, it's everywhere. You're
For
cleaning
it
that
is
up.
you. I said forgive the discourtesy.
Oh, he did ask us to do that.
Well, what if we don't forgive?
Well,
I said forgive.
then we're being rude.
Start off, you cotton-headed niggy muggets!
Wow.
For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Okay.
I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought, he was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him.
It's not a very good reason, but okay.
All the books, you say?
Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime, taken immediately after the incident.
Oh. Ah, yes. I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
Fine now.
You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat.
What? I don't think
Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well,
Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
what are you doing, Mr. Zano?
Good job.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened.
As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed into the ground. Hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from her. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings.
A green overcoat?
Well, that is exactly what the woman in the print is wearing.
Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What in the world, or what will the world come up with next?
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean that he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them. The victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. Even the defendant has said so. A fact that the accused concedes.
It seems this course examination could prove to be pivotal, Counsel. Proceed, please.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Okay. Alright. I would like a press, please. Hold it! Hold it! A light fog, you say?
Yeah, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though.
That's light, is it?
Yes.
Around these parts, yes. Not something I expect a Japanese fella like yourself to know. Of course.
I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country, people usually imagine that that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
How quaint.
Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate.
I see.
At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm.
Indeed. The other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling.
Ugh. Suzuda-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused.
Ugh. More impressive. How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witness to this crime has told us.
Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witness yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
Oh, then we must hear this testimony.
The prosecution will of course call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen...
I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated by the night by gas lights.
Ah.
The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to the witness to crime.
White. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind completely conquered the darkness.
Which means that we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through this fog of cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Mark!
Hold it!
From behind, you say?
That's right. As you can see from this print,
Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of this weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And as you say, this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition. Comatose, no less.
afraid so, my lord, yes. She's being treated at Bart's.
Bart's?
Bart's.
Bailey.
I was hopeful that she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be.
Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
I'd say not.
On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
I just look like that.
I apologize.
Hold it! Oh, finally. Mr. Natsume's belongings.
I think you'll find us all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Judge.
Oh, yes. The 3 books on the floor.
That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course.
The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand could have been free to wield a knife, for example.
He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back?
That must be what happened, my lord. Yes. Oh, yes.
Hold it! The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature.
I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Certainly. Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Mearscombe Street. Mearscombe? Whatever. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route you would have taken home.
Unless you cross the road first.
Something like this.
Okay.
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being the bookshop's location, the bookshop's name, the bookshop's stock. Did they mention the stock? They didn't really mention the stock. It's gotta be the location, right? I'm gonna go with that. The crucial detail in what you've just told the court, Inspector, is the location of the bookshop.
Couldn't agree more.
So, where is it exactly?
Hey? Are you winding me up, sunshine? I just explained that. I got the map out and everything. There's red blue bank. Drew the bloke's route. I'm on it for you.
And I distinctly remember seeing you nod along, Counsel.
Oh, yes, of course. I must have been so nervous I didn't take it. Renosuke!
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend.
No, not yet. The trial's still just begun, after all.
Mr. Naruhodo, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through the court record at this stage.
Yes, miss. At once, miss. Sorry, I made a mistake, man.
Inspector, continue with your testimony, please.
Can we actually look at the receipt that we got?
Yes, of course. What am I? Okay, yes. This.
Your books, not whatever that other place was.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Yeah.
Okay.
Those aren't my books.
Great catch. Excellent catch. Let's go again. Hold it! Hold it. Okay. Skip. Skip.
And a couple of those are French, looks like.
Does that matter?
This is an English bookstore, I think?
Wouldn't every bookstore in England?
I mean, he's trying to study specifically English, isn't he?
Yeah,
well...
true. Okay. Yep, I agree. Okay, the bookshop's name.
Name.
Yeah. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe?
Sorry, it is. Oh, well, you know, I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue.
Very well, now that I can see it as being of great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic?
Google.
He was on his way home from Bourbon
Look
Bush.
at that bookstore.
Oh shit.
Here you go.
Objection!
Objection.
Objection.
If I could just stop you right there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 secondhand books.
And you found that in the accused room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books? Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a secondhand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
Oh, what?
Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop?
Oh, yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
Objection.
Fucked up.
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Well,
Might.
where is it located?
Objection!
Objection! I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here, if that might be of help.
oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
That'd be true.
My. It rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility.
Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said?
Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. I mean, let's find out where it is.
Astonishing.
Where's the bookshop?
Yeah, where is it?
Inspector Gregson, where is this your book establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. Turns out that your books
Oh.
is just here on the next corner of Mearscombe Street going east.
I mean,
That doesn't seem like a convenient location for a competitor.
he could.
Yeah.
He could have taken the same path, but he could have also taken Calabash.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really not sure. Okay. Good info. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now. Oh.
Clearly see what, my learned Nipponese friend? He's obviously training to be a clown, the way he recalls us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus, Bob.
Ah, you put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you.
Ooh.
Please do.
Didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from your books instead of bourbon books, there's no doubt you still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
I mean,
Maybe, but
it's
not
a possibility,
necessarily.
but there's definitely doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow Nipponese friend.
Wow.
Wherever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
So are they trying to make a direct reference to Castlevania's Dracula with this guy?
Maybe.
It kind of
I
really
mean, look
seems
at
like
me.
it.
It feels like it.
Yeah, like
What is a lawyer?
Same
especially
vibe.
like the breaking of the glasses and all that. It just feels, I don't know. Ah!
It seems they also have psychic abilities.
As I suspected, you can't fool me. And I don't suggest you try.
What did I say, eh? I've had enough of this now.
Beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up.
At CATV in the last case, Van Zeek literally says stabbing was like a stake through the heart. Yeah, but that's not necessarily Castlevania's Dracula. I'm talking about that Dracula.
He is definitely supposed to be a vampire.
Yeah, for sure. What?
He is a Dracula.
He is a Dracula.
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
Ah, she's absolutely right.
We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but there's an objection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also new to the area. He doesn't know that. Ah.
On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home?
Well,
Is there something going on that street?
The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words,
But he could have.
the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings, and the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection. But yeah, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. Wow, that would be a first, us asking the defendant.
Yeah.
I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection.
That's right. As I said, the bloke seemed to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. There was no exception. Says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
Oh, I don't believe this.
So you're saying there's still doubt.
And there's a chance.
Thank you, my learned friend. And suggest that we do not waste any more time in the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subjects. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors?
But even if that is the case, the defense still... Uh-oh.
I don't know what to call about it.
Hold it. No. I agree with Lord Van Zeeks. Wholeheartedly and in every way.
What? I don't believe it. Does this mean...
We members of the jury are completely convinced now.
Very well, in that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to
Guilty!
court.
Uh-oh.
Guilty. Guilty.
Uh-oh.
Guilty.
Stop it.
Guilty.
Oh.
Guilty.
Oh.
No. No!
Well,
He's
This
dead.
went well. It would appear that the jury's leanings is unanimous.
This kills Ryunosuke.
Yes, it does.
Don't smash it.
To the insightful member of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably.
Mr.
Make us
Naruhodo.
about her.
No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have
Break that rule.
one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around, somehow.
Those eyes of quarry not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Right of the defense written into an antiquated British law that should have been buried a long time ago.
I mean, you've had 2 days to get rid of it. Heh.
Shit, you're right.
Call it
Why
antiquated.
did I
if you
think of
will.
that?
But it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Gun laws could be changed, did you?
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnappers and his uncle's refusal to throw in his alley. I understood half of those words.
Yeah.
Very well, then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, will you each explain on what ground you have determined the defendant to be guilty?
Okay.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity has already admitted it himself, didn't he?
If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why can it only have been the victim?
Squints heavily at this specific character.
The man wouldn't have gone around the house on his way back to the bookshop, not in winter.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I got work to be doing.
Your books, yes, nice shop that. But bourbon books, no, not worth a visit. Therefore guilty, kill the man!
But he went to your books.
No, killed it, wait.
He went to the bookshop you like.
Yeah, what?
Which one's guilty again?
The other one that he didn't pick.
Oh.
Judge.
Oh, with only minor exceptions, the reason for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear, except for one of them.
When the stabbing occurred, only the two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink into the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now.
Why do you have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How could I possibly make a case for the defense?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling.
It's the perfect time for grumbling.
No. If we want to force the trial to continue...
Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least.
Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord.
My favorite set of words in this series.
I just need to...
Examination.
Summation examination.
Summation examination. I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke, you could do it. I have a sword.
Could
Sword.
If this does not end with those two having a sword fight,
God, I hope
don't
so.
know what I'm gonna do.
It's gonna be great. What do you say? Yeah, okay, we'll have a press. Hold it! Excuse me, but aren't you...
And you have to win the fight by selecting the right insults from a menu, like in Monkey Island. Yes, that's right. I was the witness stand myself just 2 days ago.
Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. Oh, he is Aussie. Or at least he lived in Australia.
Huh.
It was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Sorry?
I think you can guess what fossicking means. Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals.
Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me non-stop.
If I could turn back the clock.
Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history.
Oh dear. I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
Squint, 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 squint. Hold it! You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Certainly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit.
But let us not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman.
Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds?
Yeah, fuck you. I can tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it.
I do declare that man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, then the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple.
Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you're too kind, my lord.
That went well for her. Squint at you later. Hello.
Hold it!
Hold it. But you can't deny that there are other routes that Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books.
Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something?
Precisely.
But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not.
Well, yes, that's true.
And at the moment, there's no proof to show that he did, is there?
Well, yes, that's true as well.
And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get home as quickly as possible.
Well, why is all this true?
So really, the only thing that really makes sense is that he went on home along private road.
Bah! I'm supposed to be convincing you here!
I had given it a lot of thought, you know? I didn't just make my mind on a whim like that he did. I mean, if there was a logical reason why he might have gone on Calabash Road way, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would.
A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one.
I like this young man.
Well, he's more reasonable than the first two.
Sensible guy.
Yeah.
Hold it!
Hold it.
Whatever is the matter, young man?
Hi again. You're the wife of Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room. Oh yeah, wait a minute. You are not an unrelated party. Is it fine for you to be a part of the jury?
Yeah.
The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand?
She's keeping up that charade.
You can be both.
This is going to be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean?
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he?
Yes, that's right. Although, he's only been in for a little over a week now.
And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Uh-oh.
You don't say no, that's a question you don't know the answer to.
Oh my goodness me, yes! He's just the sort.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Do you really know the sort?
What?
Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks, and don't even get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People must think he must be building a bomb in there or something.
Oh.
Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless little bookworm, nothing more.
Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She's said enough damning things already. Jesus.
Hold it!
Hold it!
I like this man's design.
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so's my family's.
Oh.
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids.
Oh, I see. That must be very
Don't
hard.
they pay you?
Did they always?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes busting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right.
Where?
In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was.
God damn.
What? Another coincidence?
That's right. Meerschaum Street it was.
Meerschaum Street.
On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets.
Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point of that? Can't we just get to this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's
It is
important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
Meerschaum.
I wonder if the idea that he wants to get paid is that if he doesn't get out of here fast enough, there will be no work for the rest of the day, which means he will get paid less.
I mean, yeah, also that.
On the day it happened, I was digging up Meerschaum Street from dawn till dusk.
One more.
Hold it!
Hold it.
Ma? Sorry. Fold it, you say? For what?
No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books I have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a simple, nice cup of old tea. That's my family's routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the days you're all talking about.
And what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out old books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left.
Oh my god.
That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you were all talking about.
Green jackets.
Oh, yeah! Huh. Just before
Oh.
5, you say. Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh, yes, no mistake in there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had stabbing somebody.
Would you mind elaborating on that?
Oh, not particularly. Well, I was walking down Calabash Road and I slipped and oopsie poopsie, there went the knife. On the ice and bonked my head. It was always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's the most slippery.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Knocked myself clean out, I did.
Oh, dear.
I really thought my number was up.
You are-
Oh my
wait,
God.
are you the victim?
No, this is the guy that
Okay.
our guy
I
saw.
Yeah. So while the stabbing happened on one road, this man tripped while he was walking fairly close to the defendant.
So Natsume saw that?
I think not the
They
man saw
told
this man slip.
him
Totally
Because he's
different
also-
roads.
Oh my
round
God.
and wearing a green coat.
This is amazing. wait a minute. Let me get this straight. this happened on Calabash Road.
That's right, I believe in corn pipe, you see.
I believe in corn pipe.
I believe in corn pipe. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
I just want Van Zeeks to hear all of this and go, you know what? I'm out. Never mind.
You win this one.
Truly, you must be kidding me, Rihanna. I'm just kidding.
Alright.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
Jack.
extremely
Shit.
sick?
Uh,
Oh, no, I'm quite all right now. I have regained consciousness.
it's good.
Well, that's wonderful.
I bounced.
I'm really glad.
It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt.
Not for long.
But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective.
I agree. It's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something.
We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruhodo. Cunningly.
Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again carefully. And if any of their assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other.
Do it.
Yes. Don't hold back. Pit them all against each other.
Go for it.
Make them fight.
Okay, so step
Let
one.
them fight.
Step one is you. Yeah. Okay. Pit. You versus you. I'm pretty sure. Right? Yeah. Go.
Objection.
Objection. Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, counsel. Explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
Eh? What? I just want to get this done and dusted.
Good
I feel
face.
he's like a punch-out character.
He does. Yeah. Well, jury number 3.
Oh, me, sir. Wait. What do you want?
Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implication of what's been said on the map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meersham Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meersham Street and down Briar Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have.
Oh, I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice.
Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yes?
I don't think it's in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Not guilty.
Yay!
You got 1.
Why is that
How
fire
about
so
you,
heavy?
sir?
Eh? Who? Me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in. That's what I say in the construction business.
I did the job for you, Mr. Lawyer, sir.
Appreciate it.
Or rather, appreciate it.
Honestly, thank you.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful.
Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. we might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Van Zeeks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by any means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, Counsel. With that... Oh, on with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. I know that we're close to the end here, but would you guys mind a quick break?
Fine. Should be good.
Okay.
I actually
We'll get little bottles of water.
Okay. Be right back, chat.
Okay.
Well, I'll have to fix
Welcome
the
back
coin.
to the darkness.
I'll have to fix the coin for later.
It's
Okay.
just not on loop.
Yeah, I
Oops.
guess so. Okay, so yeah, very
Could you?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
you full
yes,
screen?
of course, yes. Very convenient. This right half of the jur. That's not what was supposed to happen.
Well,
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. This right half, very convenient. I'm glad that they're here. Poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. The first two, I don't know about them. Slipped over that evening myself on Calabash Road. Knocked myself clean out, you know.
I think you gotta press this one.
Again?
Hold
Okay.
it.
Hold
Against
it.
who?
And that was around 5 o'clock, you say. The same time as the victim was attacked.
Yeah, this was added to his statement. I don't think we pressed this one before.
Fair enough.
I don't know anything about a girl who was stabbed, but my dinner's on the table at the same time every day.
And for the record, could you please identify the precise location of your fall?
Oh, goodness, it was acorns ago.
Wow.
That's a cute expression. I like it.
I'm nuts, you see. I'm nuts, you see. I'm not sure if I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
You did that on purpose, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 3 days ago. Try judging your memory, please.
Sure.
It's you.
Oh! Well, let's see. There was a special slippery about... yes, I remember now. It was just on the tip here.
On the chip here, yeah.
Yep, right there on the tip.
What happened to you then? Were you alright?
Well, you don't get too many people down Calabash Road, you see. So there was no one around when I fell. No one around when I knocked myself out. No one around when I came to again. No one around when I sneezed. So I picked myself up and went back to my nice warm house, and my grandchildren were waiting for me.
Oh.
A sad and lonely picture you paint, sir. You were fortunate not to have frozen to death.
Yes, how lucky that he wasn't more seriously injured.
True. It sounds like it was very nearly another hospital admission or worse. Ah, yes. One more thing. Were you wearing that same green overcoat on the day in question? Okay, alright. Really gonna
Yeah.
We're getting right into it. Nice.
I think this is actually the information we needed for it to like connect, maybe.
Okay.
Nice. Absolutely, it's the only coat I have. My name is Juror Number 6 Gumshoe.
Oh,
It took until this morning to dry out properly. Good job, too, or I have nothing else to wear here. So count your blessings, I say. Ho, ho, ho.
is it the thing?
I suppose we should. This gentleman certainly had a close shave there.
This man hasn't shaved in years.
No. Oh, wait, is this different? Hang on.
Deliver the finishing
Yeah.
blow. Wait, yeah.
What's that? Shave? Yes, when was the last time you shaved?
Maybe. Up there, I think.
You've changed two of the jurors' mind, not Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, just 2 more to go.
Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here.
Wish I knew how to do a Sozata takedown. I suppose words will just have to suffice for now. You're going down, old man. I guess I would pose that against this?
Not even
I don't
her.
see how that connects
This.
together.
Yeah.
What did
Can we look at the others?
Yeah,
I don't
what did she say again?
I don't trust these two at all.
Her.
Oh.
Only have been the victim.
Could only have been the victim. That could have been.
But it
this
isn't the
guy.
victim anymore.
Okay, I guess I'll pose it against. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that makes
fair.
sense. Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flaw? What are you talking about, Counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
My, whatever do you mean, sir?
Cookies.
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to Your Books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we are all well aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my.
Oh! My goodness, you mean?
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6.
What? Are you really suggesting that the woman in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim.
Well, look at that.
My goodness me!
Huh? Sorry? You need a pee?
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
Oh my!
You idiot, old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What did you just say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the street these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it?
Wow.
That is not an answer!
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any convenience, but... Inconvenience.
You'd like to change your leaning, I presume?
I hope this doesn't cause any convenience to you. I do declare that I would. I would like to call up for a verdict of not guilty.
Do
Thank you.
declare.
And I would too because I am mad!
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? What?
And he goes right back to being happy.
Nice
Hey, do you
of
like this guy?
He likes every old man.
Well, that examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes to the nose fall, and so the nose have it. Not guilty, they say.
A nose
Which means-
knows.
Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection.
What?
But I was winning.
Oh, he took a sip.
Not for long.
Done
Only
with that.
one, though.
Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection?
Yes.
Yes.
Only to crush it in disgust.
Yes.
Yes.
Pray forgive the discourtesy.
No! Why are you doing? Lord Van Zeeks?
It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
I had mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful.
Now you're just being rude.
They were rude to me.
When?
Just now. Yet
Okay.
we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by the Eastern entertainer.
Eh?
Yes. The cheap trick of facts and logic and reason.
Whatever do you mean?
Objection. I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth.
Indeed. Stalwart Juror number 5 has undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was in a good 2 yards of the pavement in which you had excavated, sir.
That's right. Took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? I was wondering about that.
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone with a moderate vigor.
So you are supposing that my client jumped over the problem on the road?
In the snow?
And 2 yards of it?
Yes. Have you seen his squeamish behavior? He's very
vigor?
jittery and jumpy.
Okay.
Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
Vigor?
Eh? Me? Well, it sounds like bullshit, but I can't say you're wrong. No.
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
Eh? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway, and we just turned any gentlefolk back when they came. He's got a smoking problem, you see. Can't jump right over us all the time.
The accused is no gentleman as far as I see. I have little doubt, however, that he would spring over a 2-yard trench in this men meandering around town. Ah!
Is that true? Is it?
No.
No.
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Nosman walked down Briar Road.
Crushed in a single sentence.
You should have led with that.
And, old man...
Cold man, you can talk.
What?
You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road.
And went boom!
Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say I remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember what happened behind me either. How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw. But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Burden of proof is not a defense, you piece of shit.
So
Yeah, disprove it, you son of a bitch!
So what we're supposed to do is just assume that my man, who is carrying several heavy books, jumped over three heavy books, jumped over 2 yards of road work. Whatever, I'm done.
In the snow.
I just skipped 2 lines by accident, sorry.
The snow
It's
house.
okay.
My lord.
Order, shut the fuck up.
No.
Okay.
Good enough.
If you had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve, then why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination?
I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel.
Oh, that was quick.
So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What are you talking about?
My lord! The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand.
Granted. Bufferleaf, bring out the witness.
It's next witnesses.
Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid it's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
All right, no matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end until this battle is over.
To be continued?
Is this going to be continued? Is it really?
Is this going to be a very... No.
No.
Oh, they're cute.
Oh.
Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Oh.
Jay.
Really? Why does Jay still have so many characters this chapter?
So many characters for him.
Constable Roy Peterson under appointment of straight, sir! As fuck!
And I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say that I'm this young town hero's wife.
You're so small.
They're very cute. Are you guys legally allowed to be this adorable?
No.
I'm reading my helmet.
There's no immediately suspicious.
Well, in truth, we've not been married long.
Well, no, I think it's just because we've been burned by Madame Poison.
Dahlia.
Dahlia.
We're still scorned by what happened.
Yeah. Anybody that's too cute in this series, evil.
Stare.
Menace.
She was scary, man.
In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
No. It was your husband I was talking about. He seems tired.
Hardly surprising.
They only got married a year ago.
occupation. Patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world.
Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually.
Indeed, apart from where days off, all gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our street lights.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all.
I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago.
But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honor.
Yeah.
And a man of slumber.
Sounds like a shit gig.
On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction.
Oh my god, Patricia and Rolly patrol. Oh my god. Oh my god!
Holy.
And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beats?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly?
Constable Wallace, nothing to report in the streets, sir!
What a great witness he's going to be.
I have seen things! Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir!
Goodbye. But I think that that's gonna have to wait till next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
Guy was sitting on his feet for a week.
Wow. I feel like I just went through a lot with this.
You!
Yeah.
That was a lot. Yeah. How you feeling,
Hey,
Jay?
Jay,
Woo!
are you ready for another week until we're gonna do this again?
Well, I mean, at least it started off with those two talking to each other, and then it went to the courtroom. Next time it's just going to be the judge and the old man and Pink and Rolly.
Sleepy boy.
Soseki?
Soseki, yeah.
Oh yeah, Soseki
Well,
as
there's
well.
also
But no,
Soseki, but he's not.
Yeah, he's
really
not
gonna
here.
Talk much.
What if
So
we
mainly
finish the
Rolly.
trials? What if we finish the trial section and goes over to another investigation and you're
Sherlock's
Holmes
just
again?
there. Holmes is just like, do you mind if I am your investigative assistant this time?
It's my job.
We can share.
Goody.
Alrighty, team. That's gonna be it for us. What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
break.
we're supposed to have a break, but I'm probably gonna have a practice.
Suppose.
Okay. Well, I'll have fun with that. What kind of soup is this?
Jay's voice soup.
Jay voices a million characters too.
Yeah. Good job, Jay. Proud of you.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
You did it.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.